believe I cheated the river with Judas. Tearing down the barrel of his gun, yes, he shot me down. I died and someone brought me back to life, but never to my senses. Bounce on that shit, can bounce on that shit, can.
What's up? Welcome in, y'all. I'm still a little under the weather. This weather is changing, so it's very bipolar here. And I'm learning to cope and adjust. I will be back with some mommy content in a little bit. And before we get started, I want to let y'all know that we will be talking about Kiki Jones, and we're going to do a reaction on her interview tonight. And a lot of people didn't know she had an interview. First of all, let me see if that interview was up before we get into this. Because if it's not, I think it is, y'all. Yep, it's up. We're going to talk about it. Oh, we're going to have a long live, a lit live Saturday. So lit live Saturday will start at 7:30. Oh, we're going to talk about it. Because I want to be in the bed by a certain time, y'all. But we're going to talk about it because she came out and said that man didn't touch her. Oh, we're going to talk about it because a lot of people got questions, and I'm going to answer them because I do follow her. All right, so Terri J. Vaughn did a interview with Carlos King, and she had some things to say. So we're going to go watch that reaction. And this is Terri J. Vaughn. You guys probably have seen her in play La Vida on the Steve Harvey show, numerous of shows. All of us, this is her. So she had an interview and she was just saying, I'm so tired of fighting. So we're going to see what she's talking about and we're going to react to it. Let me pull up my screen. Hello. You forgot that. Don't be sneaking up on me. I'm gorgeous. How are you?
I'm good. Look at you.
Look at you.
Oh, look at this.
Let me see.
I tried.
Oh, in this hat.
I have to be bedazzled.
Yes, bedazzled.
Bedazzled with jewel because obviously, honey, you know I'm a fashion boy.
Well,
who
you're in
loves
the right
suits.
spot. You're in the right spot.
This is your spot.
This is not my spot. It's my friend's spot. This is where I hang out. Yes. So
Hadiyoki, right?
Hadiaki.
Girl, you know I'm from Detroit, so
you get a
I'm like La Vida Alizé Jenkins. So what is it? don't get on part with me, bro.
Welcome to Hadiaki.
Hadiaki.
Hadiaki. It's Japanese.
Okay.
So this is Hadiaki, and this is where I get all my suits. And a lot of people get their suits from here.
Yes.
So when you are in need, which you are always all in need.
I'm always in need for a suit, baby.
Yes, a finely tailored.
And you can tell they're the same sign because how they just gush over clothes and talk. That's exactly how it is with us. So y'all gonna see a lot of that on here.
Tailored suit. This is where you come, and it's an experience. That's what they pride themselves on. It's an experience. Cocktails, cigars, chill, and it's a great experience. Yes, so I love it here. The energy, the vibe, and everything.
Well, you got the good energy, you got the good vibe, and the good fashion. I mean, my sis got this tutu, baby.
Little tutu.
Are you ready for the reality of the King experience?
I totally am.
Let's go, boo.
Do it.
So what we saying, girl?
You gonna sit over here. You gonna sit your butt right over there. I'm gonna sit right here.
Direct me, baby.
Yes.
I'm so happy to do this.
I am too. Thank you.
Listen, you know I love you. You know that. I mean, listen,
Thank
you have been a part of our lives, right? When I say our, I mean the community, the culture, Hollywood. I mean, the best part about my job, Terry, is the fact that I get to talk to people who I watched as a kid.
Yeah.
And to just
Are
really.
you trying to call me old?
No!
I get to talk to people that I watched as a toddler.
No, I wasn't a toddler. Listen, when you were on TV, baby, I was a teenager. So
It's all good.
Listen, hey, baby, let's be clear.
I am not ashamed of my beautiful age.
When I first met her, I was like 5 or 6, I believe, maybe between 4 and 6 when Friday came out. She had a small role, and then I fully got to see her on the Steve Harvey show a couple of years later. I was like probably in the 2nd or 3rd grade when it first came out, and it lasted a long time, and I believe after what's his name passed, the show was no more.
And you shouldn't be.
I am not.
Because you are a baddie and you look amazing.
Thank you.
So we are in Atlanta, Georgia.
Yes.
And you have been here for a while, right?
Yeah, it's been, I want to say 16 years, 15 or 16 years. I've been, 2009. Wow. So 16 years.
What made you move from Hollywood in California to Atlanta, which will always be considered Black Hollywood?
And I don't consider it Black Hollywood at
don't?
all.
Talk to me about that.
Well, because I feel like Hollywood, it's Hollywood. There is, that's history, like 40s, 50s. Hollywood is Hollywood. I feel like what has happened here in Atlanta and Georgia, it's just a new thing, but I don't like to call it Hollywood. It's new. Atlanta has its own flavor, its own sauce, its own culture. And, Hollywood just the film industry just kind of found a space here. But I never want Atlanta or Georgia to lose what makes it great. And that's the history that it had here before the film industry ever came.
She not lying. When I first moved to Atlanta years ago, it's the history. It is the way it is. It's just growing right now with the film industry, but there's a lot that happened, and I be getting mad at Atlanta natives sometimes because Killer Mike said it best, and he feel the same way as well as T.I. They don't grasp it enough to understand what really it really is, to get an understanding, to understand what, like, you had so much greatness when there couldn't be no greatness. So shout out to Atlanta.
Here. So that's why I don't call it Black Hollywood. Atlanta doesn't need that.
I know that's right. You're the first person to ever say something like that, I think, ever. Because a lot of people just take it and say, yes, that's what it is. But I appreciate the fact that you're like, no, and we're going to give Atlanta as much needed props and respect for what the city has done just in terms of being a part of the world.
Yes.
Talk to me, though, because, listen, you are a formidable actress, producer, director, screenwriter. Girl, you do it all.
I don't screenwrite. I will say that.
But you write.
I do write, but that is not really my ministry. I write stuff and then pass it on to a writer to make it right.
Got it. I mean? Okay.
So I create. I create ideas, but I would not want that hat as a writer because I think what they do is fantastic and great, and that's not my lane.
Got it. Did you know as a little girl that this is a space you always wanted to be in?
Absolutely not. No. I grew up in the ghetto. I grew up in the hood. I didn't know anything. I didn't even know that this was like the real type of something you could pursue to do. When I was growing up, all I knew was I wanted to be a successful businesswoman so I could move out of my neighborhood. I just wanted to be successful in business. And so to me, what that meant as a young girl was, okay, well, you need to go to college. You need to get a degree in something. And so that was my focus, but I didn't know what the something was gonna be until I got to college, and I was like, I was a business major at first, and then I changed it to a liberal arts major. And I got an internship at an advertising agency in San Francisco. I grew up in San Francisco, and one of the biggest advertising agencies in the nation, Gray Advertising. So I had an internship there. And one of my assignments was to interview all the people in the office. And what was really interesting, and I don't know if it was just because it was in San Francisco and we're very artsy and eclectic out there, but everyone started out as theater, something in the theater. All these people working in this advertising agency had started out in theater. And I just thought that was strange, but I still didn't clock it. I was like, oh, okay, that's interesting. But I was thinking like the energy and the vibe of working there was very creative and all that. I was like, I could do this. So I really thought I was going to be in the advertising business. And it was just a fluke that one day, a friend that I went to college with, he was recruiting girls for a Miss Black California pageant. And so we were young. We were like, whatever, like, what you do in the pageant? What we need to do? So I was always a daredevil, always saying yes to different opportunities that presented itself. I've always been that way. So I was like, yes, I'll do it. And then kind of find out what needed to be done or what that meant once I was in it. Mm-hmm. So when it came to the talent part, I did not know what I was going to do. You know, I sing, but it does not sound good, but I sing all the time. So it couldn't be that, because it don't sound good. So I decided, after talking to my mom and my aunt, decided to do a poem from the play For Colored Girls Who Considered Suicide When the Rainbow Was Enough. And it was one of those monologues. It was Lady in Blue. I know the monologue was Sorry. And I performed that in the pageant. And one of the judges in the pageant was a producer of a play that they were casting to tour the country. So when the pageant was over, he asked me if I would be interested in auditioning for this play. Again, I'm looking like how you looking at me.
No acting experience.
No.
Nothing.
No. I mean, at church, the little Tom Thumb wedding thing that I did as a toddler, but no, none. So he asked me if I would be interested in auditioning. And again, I told you I was a daredevil. I would say yes to opportunities just because. And I was like, yes, I will do that. What does that mean? What do I need to do? Again, no clue, no idea of what to do. So he said, well, come to the Black Repertory Theater, which was in Berkeley, California. And he said, bring a picture and a resume. And I was like, okay, I can do that. So I had my college roommate take a Polaroid picture. Yep, I'm aging myself. Okay. Take a Polaroid picture. So I had my little Polaroid picture with me going to the theater. And I had a regular working resume. Avis Rent-A-Car, McDonald's, Marriott Hotel. That's where I worked at through college. And I came with my resume and my little Polaroid picture to the theater. And I walked into the theater.
Yes.
And I saw all these real actors. And they had like the 8x10 black and white glossies in their hands. And they had like their resumes was on the back of their pictures. Like I'm peeping everything and I'm like, oh shit, my shit is totally wrong. But you know, I'm there. So I sit down and I just wait. And they're doing all these weird exercises, like these theater exercises. They're humming, they're moaning, they're stretching, doing all these things. And I just think they're weird. I just think they're weird. So I sit in the corner, wait for my turn. And they finally call my name. I go in, I meet the director, I meet the playwright.
Her story is kind of, to be honest, I feel like she was destined for it, even though she didn't have experience, because after being on that show, she really started screenwriting and started going into like producing. There are movies now that she has her name on. So it's like a you know, shoot, she wanted to be what a businesswoman. She really is, to be honest. But this is fit for her.
And they give me some material to read. So I read the material, and the director, his name is Paul Roach. I always say his name because he changed my life. He gave me some notes. He was like, this character is really sassy. She's, light and fun and vibrant. And I was like, oh shit, okay, I could just be myself then. So I read it again with some sass and all the stuff. And they called me that night.
That night.
That night. And said, we want to cast you in this part. We're touring the country. We'll travel around. We cover all your expenses. We'll pay you $400 a week. I was like, what?
I made it.
I was like, Mama, can I do this? And she was like, yeah, do it. Go.
How old were you at the time?
I was 20.
You were 20 years old, and was the producer who was a part of the judging panel, the pageant, was he also in the audition room?
He wasn't.
He wasn't. So you didn't even get the job based on like him just saying, that's who I think should
No, he wasn't in there. But his name was Mark Wilder. He has since passed away. But yeah, so Mark Wilder was that judge. He's the one that told me about the audition. I go in, I meet Paul Roach, who changed my life as an actor, because he was one of those very thespian in San Francisco. He went to ACT. He was a very, very theater giant in the Bay Area. And so once I did sign on and do this part, he started teaching us the craft of acting. Like all our rehearsals, it was like school. Like
I'm talking, y'all can't hear me. The guy that she said passed away, I heard his name before, and I heard people talk about him. He's responsible for a lot of these actors as well. He really is. Um, I've heard of Paul Roach name before as well. So they responsible for the people that y'all really see today.
teaching me the craft of acting, introducing me to all the theater greats, Uta Hagen, Stanislavski, Chekhov. So now I'm reading all these books and I'm like, oh my God, this is what I do. I love it. Yeah. And so because of that, he changed my life. He changed the direction of my life. And the playwright was David Talbert. It was his very first play. Yeah.
Talk about bragging rights.
Yeah.
I mean, your first play
Yeah.
is that.
Yeah, we toured the country for about 2 years, and after the show went down, I moved to LA.
And you was like, I'm an actor.
Yep, I was like, I'm an actor. I'm going to be on TV. I was like, who knows? I'm going to be on TV. I just want y'all to know I'm here because I'm going to be on TV. Because you were naive.
Yeah.
I wasn't, I just figured this is what you do. You train, you study, you take auditions, and you get a job, and that's your career. So that's what I signed up for.
So at 20 years old, you moved to Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Roommate? Was you by yourself?
I did have a roommate. It was a guy. And that was short-lived. And
You
then
moved
I got
out,
my
or did
own
he move
apartment.
out, child?
I moved out.
You moved out.
And then got my own apartment.
He was not just on the up and up.
We just weren't. Great guy, great
Okay.
person. He just wasn't my person.
Okay.
And once I learned that, I was like, okay.
Okay.
Let me figure myself out and
Okay.
get me a spot.
Did you think it would be, because obviously for, I think anybody, right? It appeared to have been easy for you. Like you audition, you got the part, next thing you know, you're on the road. So when you moved to Hollywood, did you think like, oh, this is gonna be kind of like that? Like was it?
I did think that.
Was it that for you, or was it as hard as we hear the stories are?
Oh, it's a hard business. It's a very hard business. But still, even with it being a tough business, I still enjoyed the journey of it. I was fresh, I was new, I was learning new things, meeting new people. figuring out how do I get, I was just figuring everything out at that point. So I didn't really know what was the right way or wrong way. And that's the best thing that you could be as a young artist because you're free. And it's not until you've been in it for a while and you kind of learn how it goes and you start to get a little jaded, be like, okay, so it's not even about talent. It's not, it's not just about talent, I should say.
Yeah.
It's so many other things, and it's a million people trying to do the same thing that you're doing. How do you become the one to get chose? And you really have no control over that. The only thing you do have control over is making sure you're prepared when it is your turn. So for me, it was always about being in classes, going to networking events. So that's what I poured myself into when I first got there. I was in all kinds of acting classes and just built a village through that.
How old were you when you got the Steve Harvey Show gig?
So I want to say it's about 5 years after I moved there. So I want to say I was like 26. I want to say I turned 21 by the time I landed in, I was 21 by the time I landed in LA. And about 5 years later, I got that Steve Harvey Show audition.
Now, how did you land that?
It was the normal audition process, and now I'm like 5-6 years into being in Hollywood. And so I know the routine now. You get your auditions, you get a call back, you get another call back, then it either ends or it keeps going. And so by the time I got the Steve Harvey Show audition, I had tested maybe for 2 pilots before. So I had really gone all the way up, almost getting it, didn't get it. So that happened to me about 2 times before I got the Steve Harvey Show.
Do you remember those 2 roles that you were close to getting?
I remember one was, this is such a crazy show. It was Homeboys in Space. You probably don't even know.
Yeah, I do. Homeboys
Okay.
Outer Space.
Homeboys Outer Space.
On the
with
UPN.
Flex. Yes.
Yes.
With Flex.
I know exactly what you're talking about. I watch you, girl. I know.
We all remember that show. We all remember. I was just like, and it didn't last that long, which is crazy. Man, listen. Excuse me, I'm trying to get sick. Between that, you had that, which was a pilot. It didn't do too good. It did whatever we saw that. Then it was you still had Moesha. You still had Monique, the Parkers with Kim was supposed to be kind of throwing in and out there. You had Half and Half. I don't think Half and Half came out yet. Yeah, because it came out the same time as All of Us. But I remember Moesha was doing her thing. It was another show. Because Moesha was the longest running show because they did a spinoff to the Parkers. Girlfriends didn't come till early 2000. I'm trying to think. I think it was Chiropract and Flex at that time getting ready to pop out. But I did remember Moesha. It was a lot of shows back then that was popping. Hey, that was just like coming into it. But the Steve Harvey Show was getting ready to pop out as well. So yeah, I remember that. UPN was the ish, y'all. Kids don't know about it today.
Oh my
So
God.
I tested for that.
Who got that part?
I'm trying to remember who got it.
Oh, the last thing. You know what's so interesting? I remember them pulling off the air. Do you know the story?
I don't.
So, girl, I'm a kid. Well, okay, when I say kid,
How do you know this?
I'm a student of information.
Okay.
Like when I tell people like I'm in this business because I studied this since I was a child.
Yeah.
I was a consumer, but I just like would consume hours and hours of television. So I remember watching UPN because they had, it was a thing back then.
Yep.
So long story short, Terry, that show comes on and it was so controversial because of the title, Homeboys Outer Space, right?
Ooh.
And they were like, what type of BS is this? And long story short, it lasted for like a few episodes. And from my memory, they yanked it off the air because the ratings were so low. like extremely low that, yeah, they were like, this show is not getting a season 2.
Okay.
And that's why I always believe in this, because you're spiritual like me.
Yeah.
I always believe in this. God's rejection is God's protection.
1000%. Agreed.
So that wasn't meant for you.
Absolutely, it was
Yeah.
not. And you know, as a young person at that time, I didn't realize
It's
that.
devastating.
It's devastating.
Yeah.
Because it's always more devastating when you get so close and then you don't get it. That's getting an audition and getting a call back and then getting a call back and then it goes away. We're used to that. But getting all the way there and you thinking like you're gonna get it and you're gonna make this money.
And you got the table read.
You have to you know your contract, you sign your contracts, what your contract is gonna be before you get the job. You sign those papers. So now you're like, oh my God, I can make this much money. I can help my mom. I can da-da. And then you don't get it. Mm-hmm. So then I get the Steve Harvey Show audition. And when I first get the audition, Carlos, I'm like, oh my God, this is so easy. I know her. Like, oh my God, I know her. This is my friend across the street. This is my friend down the street. This is me. This is us. Oh my God. So immediately I fell in love with her and I just had fun with her. It was the easiest audition I've ever had, and still to this day, the easiest audition I ever had. So I kept getting call back after call back after call back, and then finally got to test, had to sign my deal. I'm like, oh God, I've been here before. And I remember getting that deal, and I was like, oh my God, this is a lot of money to me at the time. It just felt like a lot of money. I was like, oh my God, this will change my life. This will change my mom's life. This will help us. And so I go in, and it's a small theater, right? If you can imagine, like just a small theater, but it's like the seats that go up, and then you at the bottom, and the seats up. And the seats are all filled with studio heads, writers, producers, directors. And it's my first time with that. Yeah. And I walk in and I'm like, oh, hey, you guys. And so now I get in my head and I start to get nervous. I'm like, oh my God, all these people are watching me. Oh my God, what about this contract that I could possibly get? What about what I could get from my mom? So I'm thinking about all the wrong shit. Like Levita, where is Levita now?
Right. Tap in.
So I do the audition. It goes okay. To me, it was not, like up until that point, I was killing it. And then it's those stupid contracts. They should never let you sign the contracts before you go in for your last audition.
I didn't know that even happened. Does that happen even like today? So that's
normal.
That's normal. Okay, so you feel like you bombed it.
So I feel like I bombed it. I feel like it was okay, but it would, like the other ones were like so light and fun and easy. So I get home,
and she's not lying, because when I did background, you have to fill out paperwork. And with the paperwork, they ask certain things. It's like a contract, because it's like, oh, well, you could come back and do this. And you signed up for it. So it's like, she not lying, but the people that have a regular, like they're regularly there, they have a spot, they have a role, they have lines, they have to sign that, which is really crazy to me.
Agent calls and she's like, well, how'd it go? And I was like, to be honest, it wasn't the best. I was like, it was okay, but it wasn't the best. And she was like, really? You feel that way? And I was like, I do. And she was like, well, that's surprising because you got the part. And I just...
One thing about it, Libra, we're going to be hard on ourselves, because if we know we can do better and we don't deliver, yeah, we're going to feel like we effed up.
I know. I just, oh my God. And a lot of times when I still tell this story, and this is like almost 30 years later, I still get emotional. I fall to my knees and I just cry. Like, I did it. I got it. I got that. Yes, finally. So that was the Steve Harvey journey.
And you played this iconic character, Levita Alize Jenkins.
Yep.
okay? And I've always wanted to ask you this, and there's so many questions I have for you just based on that character alone.
Yeah.
Because to me, she's so iconic. You said earlier you felt like no, I get her. That's my neighbor.
Oh, yeah.
That's me. That's my fam. Like
Yeah.
whomever, right?
Yeah.
Did you know instantly that, oh, this character is a hit?
No.
You
I just knew she was fun. I mean, it was Steve's show. It's the Steve Harvey show, and it's Cedric the Entertainer and Wendy Raquel Robinson. Like, I'm a fan of theirs. So no, I didn't think that she was gonna be any more great than the rest of them. I was just an added little spice and sauce.
But the feedback you got, my love, was it?
Originally, it was a lot of pushback, like the same thing with the Homeboys from Outer Space. It was a lot of pushback for bringing this character on because she was ghetto, she was, whatever. And
Was it pushback from the community, like the media?
yeah,
Or
NAACP. It was like, the bougie Negroes. That's where the pushback came from.
They felt like you were a stereotype.
Yes. They were like, why do we need this kind of character in a school and blah, 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 blah.
I don't know why it was pushed back then. I guess it was taboo. But if you think about it, Levita is the everyday, woman around that time who was trying to get into being better, coming out of being what she was that wanted better. So yes, the look now, she didn't want to live. Like you could tell with Levita, she had things that she would, the character would say she didn't have. Excuse my love. That's a new toy. But that I don't understand the pushback because it wasn't like she was out here with a whole bunch of kids. It wasn't like, what I'm saying, what they felt like stereotypical. But Levita was, you could see she wanted different and she got that.
And my thing was, she's a real like, I know people like that. So that means you just don't like people like that. That's not my issue. That's your issue. Because I'm creating a character that is grounded in realism to me, my life, and I love her. I love her. I want to protect her. I want to do all these things for her. So I was always very clear and very protective about Levita for me. Because I know she mattered to so many people that mattered to me. Young Black girls growing up in the hood that just want love and a good life and getting a job and trying to do her best. That's all she was. So I loved her.
No, it's so fascinating because I did read about that. Because again, at the time that we're all watching it, me, my family, my friends, the neighborhood, all that, we stand for Levita because of everything you just described. And what I always find so fascinating, Terry, is, Tyler Perry even talked about it when he talked about the uppity Negro.
Yeah.
The ones who talk about, his characters and them being a stereotype. And he said something similar to what you said and what I say about doing reality television. Oh my God, you just love, these messy people, or they go through these issues. We're all complex individuals, the human race.
Yes.
When it comes to the Black race, and Tyler Perry said it best, there are stereotypes that are us. That is us. Like, it is what it is. It's who we are. And what we shouldn't do is be ashamed of where we come from, being ashamed of who we are. And what is so interesting is I remember reading upon this that the NAACP at that time wasn't into it. But my sister, you won 3 NAACP Image Awards.
For that character.
For that character.
Yeah.
Like, how did that even, did you campaign or was it?
No, I was still new. I didn't know anything. I was like, what? Like, that was such an honor. And I was just thankful. And I think that it really came from the fact that I really do love her. I love her. And so I think that is what was reflected through the TV screen. That's what you guys felt. It wasn't just an actress like portraying this character. of this ghetto girl from the hood, blah, 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 blah. It was representation of somebody that cared about people that she was reflecting. I was a reflection of the girls in my neighborhood. I love them. I protect them. I root for them still to this day. So I think that's why she was so lovable and why you guys fell so in love with her, because you felt it from me.
I can't see anybody else playing that character but you. When you were in the auditioning process, do you remember some of the women who were also auditioning for that role?
So funny. The only person I remember, because there was always rooms full of people, but the one person I do remember, because she is my friend and we would talk, and she was like, girl, this was, once I got it, she was like, I could not have imagined doing it any better. You created something, and it's Vanessa Williams. Chocolate Vanessa Williams.
Yes, Vanessa E. Williams.
Yes. From Soul Food.
Soul Food. No, I love her.
Soul Food series.
Yeah, series. Yeah.
Yes.
No, that's so funny because I remember listening to, I think Taraji P. Henson said this when the character Olivia Pope was developed by Scandal.
Yeah.
And I believe Taraji said this, if I'm not mistaken. She said the moment they saw Kerry Washington audition, they all said, girl, that's yours. And what I thought about that was like, and I want to get more into the community of Black actresses, but what I thought about that, what you said too, what Vanessa said to you was the fact that, I love the fact that although you guys are like regular human beings, there's still a level to the artistry to where you sort of like, nah, I can see you with that character.
Yeah.
And I understand what Vanessa meant when she said, nah, Terri, that no one, and I hope you received that.
Thank you.
The way no one could have played Gina.
Right.
And Martin. There's no one could have played Pam.
Right.
What was so interesting to me is, as we sort of talk about the Steve Harvey show, like you said earlier, I mean, the name is the Steve Harvey show. He was a star. What was it like working with him at the time? Because for the audience, as us, he is like this up-and-coming comedian, but we also know he's very steadfast and stern when it comes to his work ethic. Mm-hmm. What was your experience like with Steve Harvey?
It was great. So, again, I booked this show, and the only person I knew on the show was Wendy, because we had a lot of mutual friends. We had done theater together in town. So she and I knew each other and were friends. I had never met Cedric. I had never met Steve until my first day at work. And, you know, I go in, and the first thing you do on the show is you sit around a table and you do a table read. So that's when I was introduced to Cedric. I was introduced to Steve. And, you know, they're silly and crazy and fun. So that table read was silly, crazy, fun. They embraced me right away. When Cedric and I, once we went to rehearsals on the stage, Cedric and I, our chemistry was just like we had known each other forever. And this was my first day meeting this man. And it was just so incredible. So Steve, like you said, he's a hard worker. He's always full of freaking advice, whether you want it or not. He is going to be, I used to just call him like he's somebody godfather, he's somebody uncle. Like, what you got to say now today? What we need to do? He used to get on me and Wendy, because you know when we're coming in for rehearsals, we're in our sweats and da-da. He was like, y'all coming to work. Y'all need to like get dressed and but da-da-da. I was like, Steve, I'm not wearing heels to rehearsal. I'm not wearing it. But he's all about, you know, the look and keeping yourself, you know, polished, which I respect that totally. So that was Steve. He was full of advice. If I needed anything, if I needed to talk to him about anything, if I needed to vent, if if there was business advice, he was always giving us business advice about investing. He pushed me and Wendy to buy a new car, like once we got in, because Wendy was still driving like her little Toyota, little bucket car, and she still has that car.
Shut up.
She doesn't drive it, but she still has it.
Okay.
But so she finally went and got a new car, and then finally I got rid of my little Miata, and I got a new car. Like, he was always that guy.
Okay, that's good. Important to you.
Yeah.
Do you remember how much you were making at the time?
I remember when I made that contract, it was $13,000
an episode.
Yeah.
And by the how many seasons was the Steve Harvey show?
The show itself was 6. Remember, I came in second season, so I got 5.
5 seasons. Do you remember what your rate was when you left, when the show was over?
I mean, they were like, I think the bumps were like 3% bumps or whatever. So it was just whatever those little small increments were.
One thing that I've learned when it comes to black actors in Hollywood is what you just said earlier about Wendy in the car and like you with your car, is just because you're on a hit show, you don't go crazy with your money.
No, and I know that sounds like a lot of money to say $13,000 per episode, but that's what, like maybe 5-6 months of work or whatever, and then you don't know when you're going to work again, right? So we were always, even Wendy, very frugal, because you got to stack your money, because you could go a year, 2 years without booking anything. That's the norm. That's, the regular regime.
She ain't lying. No matter what you did, background, whatever, she not lying. You can go a very long time without being on set, working, doing things like that. It's not what y'all think. It really not. And some of your favorites have a hard like, not saying they have a hard time, but they go without, they can't go without it.
Of an actor. And so you always have to be very smart to make sure you are stacking when you are working, because the industry, it has no loyalty to you at all. So, be smart when you're making it, because you don't know how long it's going to be till you're going to make it again.
Do you recall a moment when the show ended and you felt like, all right, I did 5 successful seasons of this. The phone's gonna be ringing, and I'm gonna go
1,000%. That is exactly what I felt. I was like, okay, because it's funny, after every season, and when we would go down for a season, I would always go to Steve. I would be like, Steve, I really hope I get the opportunity to come back next season, because I wasn't ever guaranteed to come back. I mean, my contract was, they could bring me back or they don't have to. So he would always think it was very funny that I would come to him with that. But I was serious. Like, Steve, I really hope I come. Girl, get away from me, talking all that smack. Da, 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 da. But then I remember when it came down to an end, and he had a conversation with all of us, and he was like, this is going to be the last season, you guys. We can't do this anymore, because they started taking money away, giving us less episodes, making us shoot 2 or 3 episodes during a week instead of the 1 episode. So they just started changing how we were being treated and how our work environment was. And Steve finally was like, that's it. It's enough. So I respect him so much, because he gave us that heads up when we started that season that year, to let us know he wasn't doing it anymore.
Was it hard to find a gig after the Steve Harvey show wrapped?
So I was exactly like what you said when the show came to an end. I was like, psh, I was on a hit show. I got 3 Image Awards for this show. People love Lupita. I am totally getting another job after this. Thank God for Felicia Henderson, because she did call my reps, and she offered me a part on Soul Food, the series. And what I love about that offer was, this is totally something different than Lupita or the Steve Harvey show. It was a drama. My character, she was a lesbian, a professional woman in a workspace. And she didn't make me audition for that.
What?
No, I know. That was unheard of. She didn't make me audition for it. She just offered me that part. So I always
No, stop there. No.
love Felicia
You
Henderson.
have to let them know that
That is not normal. I still audition to this day. Like, I just turned in an audition last week for something.
a self-tape?
Yes. Yes.
You?
Yes. Yes, Carlos.
You have a hit Netflix series.
I know. I know.
You're number one on the call sheet.
I know. They don't care. I care, but they don't care. It's all good. We keep going.
What I didn't realize was how unkind Hollywood can be to black actors. Yes, today, but baby, back then.
Yeah.
And it took me, again, I'm a journalist. I do my research, and I've studied this craft for so long that I grew up where you had Martin, Living Single, In Living Color, The Steve Harvey Show, Girlfriends. The list goes on and on about how these shows put these networks on the map.
Oh, yeah.
And I feel like when it came to your white counterparts, right? And before people start to read me, I'm not comparing these shows to them in terms of mainstream value like Friends or Seinfeld. But what I'm saying is, it's rare that those actors don't find work after a hit show.
1000%.
Because getting 5, 6 seasons is a gift. And when you are a white actor, then even today, getting 5 or 6 seasons of a show, I'm going to at least see you in something.
Yeah.
And you may even get a backdoor pilot and all those things.
Yes.
How challenging was it for you and your community of actors, especially back then, when you weren't getting the calls that you thought you deserved, the money you thought you deserved, when you guys single-handedly put these networks on the map?
The CW, the UPN, Fox, all of those networks were built on the back of black actors, 1000%. You know, and maybe CBS or ABC and NBC, I'm not sure because they were always around, but the CW, UPN, Fox, those were new networks that I witnessed, I saw, I was a part of us bringing them their viewership, and then they let us go.
I agree. I was mad as hell when they let them good shows go. And UPN was no, when UPN let those shows go, UPN was no longer. UPN was done for. UPN was brought out because they didn't understand that they had so many black shows. And that's when BET, I think around that time when they started canceling them, especially with Girlfriends and all that, they started jumping into BET. That's when BET started allowing TV shows. And you have who else? VH1 and them. That's when all that stuff started opening doors to that they can go anywhere. So UPN lost because they had most black shows on there. And I'll never forget, after I graduated high school, they was just like it's no more. I think it was 2000, 2007, going into 2008. And hey, I mean, it is what it is, but you know, they had history, and when they started to drop people, it just was a no longer thing.
So yeah, that was really, really hurtful. And so what I did, because I literally thought, like, I 1000% thought that it would be so much easier now that I've been on this hit show, I won these awards. Yeah, I'm gonna get another series. Yes, I can star in a series. And that was my mindset. And so I would start pitching ideas. I started pitching ideas. I had my agents like set up meetings. And I remember this is when I met my really good girlfriend, Cass Seeger's Beatles. And she was a writer. And she had written her first novel. It was called A Girl Named Lily. And we met, and she had told me that she had written a novel, and she asked me if I would read it. And I was like, of course. So I read her novel, and I fell in love with it. I was like, oh my God, this would be an amazing series. This could be my next series. It's really good. So my agent set up meetings. And well, first I called Cass. I was like, Cass, hey, would you be interested in like pitching your book as a TV show? And she was like, I never thought about that, because she thought she was just going to write novels. She thought she was just going to write novels. She was not into writing scripts for TV or film at that time. And she was like, sure. So she actually came out to LA, because she was living here in Georgia. And she came out to LA, and my agent set up pitch meetings for us. And the response back from those network execs were, yeah, it sounds like a great story, but this doesn't sound like a Black story. This doesn't sound like a Black person's voice, a Black woman's voice. And I'm like, God, dog, Cass is Black. She is really Black. She wrote this. So what do you mean it's not a Black person's voice? So that lit a fire under me and Cass. And that's when we established Nina Holiday Entertainment, a production company that we had started years ago. And we started that with the vision of creating opportunity for me and my peers. And so the first thing we did is we shot a documentary called Angels Can't Help But Laugh. And I interviewed 25 Black actresses. I mean, I just feel so blessed, right? Growing up where I grew up in, and then becoming friends with so many people that I admired and was fans of. So we had Shirley Ralph, Regina King, Megan Good, Kim Whitley, Melinda Williams, Vanessa Williams, like a bunch, 25. And we interviewed them, just asking them, like, you know, just talking about their journey of being in this business as women, as mothers, wives. Like, how do you navigate, and how do you stay inspired and motivated to keep going when the industry is like giving you the elbow all the time? Like, why do you keep going? So we shot that documentary, and that was kind of like, that's my purpose. Like, that is my vision still to this day. Doing that's what I lead with. It's like, we are representing each other. We are reflections of each other. We are each other's loudest cheerleaders. That's who I am. And whether it's reciprocated or not, most times it is, sometimes it's not, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. We have to stand up for each other.
Vivica Fox recently did an interview with Lena Waithe. And she talked about the auditioning process she had to experience. And she talked about how she was, you know, you would see the girls in the audition, but at that time, you couldn't even say hi to each other because you knew it was one role. And that one role, you got 25 Black girls fighting for it.
Yeah.
Okay? And how the perception is there's no sisterhood. There's no sisterhood because we weren't comfortable to even say hi to each other because we were told by our agents and our manager, go in there, stay focused, get that role, because you know if you don't get this, you may not have a job for a year.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So the fact that you are creating opportunities for your people.
Shout out to her, Tyler Perry. It's a lot of people creating opportunities. Let me explain something to y'all. The jobs in Atlanta, the reason why people move to Atlanta are for those opportunities for acting, but they have created opportunities for jobs, okay? Every time somebody comes to Atlanta, it's creating that opportunity for jobs. And there's no need for nobody. Like, when I first got there, I realized people like, oh, they homeless. Yeah, they were homeless because they didn't have a choice. They just started out. Let's be for real. But some of the homeless people had mental issues. And now they're starting to create. And the reason why people are kind of frantic over there is because they were starting to create things for the mental people, you know, that like to fight, talk themselves and stuff like that. And now that what's going on with this government, it can affect because it can put them back on the streets. So I'm proud of her and Tyler and everybody else that make an effort to make jobs for people in Atlanta. More that they do that, the more you build things and open things for people to work.
You talked about when you did the documentary, you asked your peers what keeps you going. So I want to ask you that. What keeps you going? Because this industry is not nice
At all.
to black women. It's
The
not
world isn't nice.
the world.
So it's not even just our
The
industry.
world is not nice to black women.
No.
The world is not nice to black women. What keeps you going though, Terri J. Vaughn? Because for all intents and purposes, look at you. You are stunning. You are funny. We grew up watching you. The fact that you have to still provide a self-tape, and what I want people to understand who may not get the business is, it's literally when this camera right here, and you record yourself and you're auditioning and there's nobody in the background.
Yeah.
It's you,
Yeah.
the script you memorize, and it's a camera,
Yeah.
and you submit that hoping that I'll get the gig, which isn't the best way because
Right.
you want to be in the room and you want to be able to have the agents, producer, the cast, and director, the director to feel you.
Yeah.
What keeps you going? Because there's not a lot of black sitcoms on TV today, and it's 2025, and we're being told that America, is nicer to black people, but I don't see any black shows in 2025 that I saw in 1995.
Right. I mean, it's all I can do is laugh, and that is my superpower, is laughter. That is how I stay sane. First, I wanted to go back to the comment you said about Vivica saying that not speaking in the room when you come into auditions. So I didn't come up in that, right? So these girls, like I said, when I showed up on the scene, now I'm in rooms of people I'm fans of. I was a fan of Vivica Fox. I remember being in the audition room with her for, what's the movie she did with Will? The 4th of July movie.
Independence Day.
So I remember being in the audition room with her there. And if that was the protocol where people weren't supposed to talk, I didn't get that memo. Because I was like, hi to everybody. And I've always been that way. And I feel like I know several peers that are that way, but I've heard this over and over again. But I do feel like maybe that was the messaging early on, like back in those days, that was the messaging. And I'm so happy that we kind of peeled through that, because yes, only one person can get it, but that's a gig for sure. But still, we all have to live, breathe, show up, see each other, all the things. And that's what matters most, right? That's what matters most to me. These jobs are going to come and they're going to go. They're going to come and they're going to go. And we're going to be there as, again, reflections of each other. And we have to have each other's back, because nobody does outside of us. Nobody does. So what keeps me going is that whole mindset of, if I stop, then the world is missing another opportunity of another black woman on screen, in face, her voice, her stories being heard. I always tell people I have a 10-year-old daughter, my 95-year-old grandmother. I have to show up for them.
What makes you get emotional when you speak about this?
It's exhausting. It is exhausting to keep it going, but we have to. We have to. And it is not easy. And people may think it's easy, and people are social media have made just open the door for people to be so cruel. They have no idea the stuff that goes on behind the scenes, and how much we have to fight and how much we have to deal with. And we keep showing up, and we show up and we're made up and we're smiling because it's our job. But that does not mean that it's easy, because it's not. It's not. But this is our purpose. This is our gift to the world. And it doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter that the fight is hard, that people are closing doors, that people are belittling. None of that matters to me. At least it doesn't matter more than what I know my purpose is. And my purpose is to keep showing up for us. My purpose is to put joy in the world for us. For us. I love it if everybody else gets it, but I'm showing up for us. So we can laugh, so we can have some joy, so we can have some light in the midst of all the drama, all the fights that we're all fighting, because all of us are fighting some kind of fight. If you're Black, you're fighting a fight. So I'm on a mission and have a purpose to give you some joy while you're fighting.
She ain't lying. Because a lot of people feel like, I don't know what's with the Black community, why everybody, and I've said this before, when we talked about the Nikki situation, everybody want to see T on somebody for them to fall and get a CUC, but if it wasn't for them, then you wouldn't have some of these jobs, because the way we look at it, the government don't care. They don't want you to have a job. So it's people fighting for people's voices and putting this stuff on TV for y'all to pay attention to it, or in songs, and y'all missing the play and the point, and it's sad.
That's what I want to do. And that's why I don't stop. It brings me joy to do that. Even in the midst of it all, I still get happy to be able to show up for you guys. I was excited about this interview, to talk to you. Black man, own show. I want to show up for you. And I really wish all of us got it like that. But I even understand those who don't. It's just the mindset. And I'm just on a different mindset.
Hey, Bonita.
Okay, I'd expect you to get me emotional. I relate to you so much.
How so?
It's exhausting to fight. And I fight for us. And social media.
They're not lying. It's very exhausting. Y'all see what I talk about here all day. It's exhausting. It's so exhausting to fight. Like, it's tiring. And people still don't get it. And that's why it becomes so tiring, because it's like, oh, well, they don't get it until now people are starting to get it, and things are getting taken away. But they didn't get it at first. And as content creators, it is very exhausting. It is tiring, because we come up here and tell y'all what it is, and then y'all get upset. And then you got other people that go on Rex and tell y'all what it ain't. It's exhausting.
Can be cruel because they think they know everything.
Yeah.
And I know what I signed up for, and I get it.
Yeah.
I produce reality television to where the genre itself is not respected.
Yeah.
I produce reality television to where all my shows are for Black people. And you're damned if you do, and you're damned if you don't. You know, I've given more Black producers, Black crew members, Black talent, way more opportunities. And the unfortunate part is it doesn't get the same value that the other shows get. And the sad part is from our own people, right? Just yesterday, I read a comment. I interviewed this woman named April Jones, who is an actress, not an actress.
I know her.
Yeah,
Is she based here?
She's based in LA. She used to be with Omarion, and she dated Tay Diggs recently, and they did those cute little videos.
Oh,
But she's
okay.
done
I know
like
who
some
you're talking
movies
about.
here
I
and
know who you're
there.
talking about.
Long story short, somebody said, well, damn, Carlos, have you run out of people to talk to? Have you run out of people to talk to?
That's so mean.
what was so interesting to me when a person made that comment, at the end of the day, the gag is, as I saw that comment, I said, but that's why I created Reality with the King, because I'm sick and tired of anybody, especially our own community, looking at black people in terms of there needs to be this different sector that you belong to.
Right.
I can interview Devon Franklin. I can interview Nene Leakes. I can interview Lisa Ray McCoy. I can interview Jocelyn Hernandez. I can interview April Jones and interview Terri J. Vaughn 2 weeks later. And it doesn't matter because I create a space for stories to be heard.
Yeah.
And what is so fascinating about that, to the young lady on Twitter who made that comment, hi, April Jones' interview did 400,000 views in 6 days, more than anybody this year.
Wow.
And you don't have to be a housewife to be considered a respectable reality star.
Right.
And I can relate to you because I'm exhausted too. I'm exhausted fighting with the upper echelon, the people upstairs. I'm sick of it because I know what my purpose is, and my purpose is truly, truly to provide opportunities for people of color. That's my mission. That's why I left Housewives. I created my company. I was singularly focused on like, I need to do shows that fits our people. If you like it or not, that's fine. If you think it represents you or not, that's fine too. But that's what I'm doing. And that's why I can relate to you so much and get emotional to hear you talk, because look, even on some real shit, even you saying like, I said yes to this interview. You have no idea what that means to me, Terry, because someone of your stature may say, I ain't talked to that boy. This ain't Tamron Hall. Like, is somebody else gonna call me like Carlos King with his little podcast? No. But it's the fact that you did say yes, that again, you and I are the same in the sense of we're not only talking the talk, we're walking the walk.
Yeah.
Because you and I both know, and we ain't gotta say names because we're not messy like that, but we know so many people, I'm sure you do too, that loves to get on social media and say what they're doing for y'all, but behind the scenes, baby, they ain't doing a damn thing. But it's people like you and I who are.
I told y'all that. We can see how, like, not saying on that. I done saw some stuff that I was like, really? Question. Because I know it's to open spaces for them to be in those spaces, but to be in a space with somebody don't claim to be black and doing teaming up with that is black, but doing things to team up with black, do things to harm black people, tells me everything I need to know. And I kind of side eye a little because I understand you want to be in those rooms, but some rooms are not okay to be in. And then when I mention a certain artist that ain't never told this person happy birthday before, told them a happy birthday, lets me know everything I need to know. They don't do a shit for black people. Excuse me. They ain't doing nothing. And that's why I can't support them no longer. Their music is out of my phone. I can't. It's exhausting. I can't.
Like, no, we know what it's like to feel marginalized. We know what it's like to feel ignored. We know what it's like to make these corporations billions of dollars. And we should be satisfied with the chump change we get because we know that it's not something that we're going to get anywhere else. And that's why I am so proud of the landscape you're doing. And I'm so proud of the fact that you decided, I just don't want to be an actor. Let me get into production. Let me get into directing. Mm-hmm. Let me really work with people to really build this community. And the fact that you're doing that, my sister is amazing. It's amazing. It is amazing. And I understand your pain because it's unfortunate, Terry. It should be easier because we were told as long as you do the work, it's going to be easier. And maybe I'm sorry to tell you, if anything, it's harder.
Right, it does. It gets harder. The biggest thing that I hate about those comments, right? when you talk about the person on Twitter that made that comment about the lovely actress that you interviewed. It's like, how hurtful is that? Not even just to you, but to her. Like, why would you say that about her? Like she's not good enough. Who are they to say who's good enough? Why? I just don't understand it. Social media has really just fucked stuff up to me. I hate that people could just say anything. It really disturbs me. It's like, you guys, because we have to fight against so much in this world, right? It's so many people against us. Why are we against each other? It makes me mad.
No, it does.
It makes me mad, Carlos. I want to fight.
But you are fighting the right way.
I want to sock somebody.
Well, no.
I want to sock somebody in their throat, right in their neck. I want to. Okay, that's what I'm going. Got it out. I had to say it. I had to get it out.
You got it out, okay.
Okay, now I'm back to peaceful.
Okay.
Now I'm back to peaceful, balanced scale, the Libra.
I know.
Self.
We're both Libra, so we're trying our best to be like this balanced person, but you know, I ain't a killer, but don't push me. That's the Libra motto. But that's why I'm so happy when I saw the success of the governor.
Oh, thank
you. And we have to talk about my love, how that came about, because again, it's not easy to work on something, pitch it, develop it, and all of that. And to see it on Netflix, it reaches over 190 countries. 190 countries.
Ew.
Netflix.
I know. And it was exactly what I wanted. I wrote in the journal that my show was going to be on Netflix.
You did?
Yeah.
The power of manifestation.
1,000%. I keep telling people about their belief. You'll believe. I know we believe, but you got to believe more than you believe. You got to believe more than you believe. That's what I learned through this whole process. So,
but before you start that story, 'cause I'm stuck on that. Because again, I did my research. You and I are the same because we're very spiritual. And we may not be religious in the sense of practicing everything in the Bible because, you know, we have our reasons. But spirituality, and we believe in God, and we know
1,000%.
But God is the first and foremost the head of my household in my life. But I need to ask you, because I'm stuck on that. Teach me and the audience, the raindrops, to believe on top of the belief.
So, for instance, I've been pitching to have my own show for 20 years. Going in, different people. I've gone in a couple of times with me and Wendy with a show. We've gone in with Steve as an EP pitching a show. Like, I've been pitching for 20 years or more. And I always believed that I could have my own show. I've always believed that. And after coming off of the Steve Harvey show, I expected that I would have my own show. And when I'm being honest and I peel away everything, like, yep, I did believe that I could have a show. But when it came down to it, like, did I believe enough? And it wasn't until, I don't know, the growth, studying, reading more, that I was like, okay, you've been believing, but you haven't been believing that you really deserve this. You haven't been believing that you really could hold that space. Like, you've been believing because of the work you've put in the past, but you haven't been believing just for the sake of God is all powerful, and anything that you think of or dream of, you deserve to have it. And no matter what people are saying outside of it, whether they're telling you no or telling you whatever, do you still believe past that?
It's giving me y'all, but she just said a word. That is true. That is true. I've said this multiple times. I don't think God puts you through things, or God gives you bad things so you can. I don't believe that. I just don't. I believe that he loves you so much, whatever you want to have, you can have it. I just can't believe that.
I had to I had to build myself up to believe past what I was seeing, what I was feeling on the outside. I had to start really leaning into and go inside like, God, what are you telling me? And he's telling me, you have your own show. You have your own show. But everybody else outside of me kept saying no, kept saying no. So you kept believing the no's more than you were believing on the inside. So I just had to flip it. I had to like not care about what I was hearing on the outside and really know, as you're telling me no, that on that inside, I'm like, yes, you do. So I can look at you differently, and it's not affecting me that you're saying no, because I already know that the yes is already happening. It's different. I know that sounds wonky.
No, it doesn't.
But it's
You have
it's
no
a
idea.
different level of belief.
You have changed me. I'm changed because of that statement. I get it.
It's true.
I get it.
It's
I get it. It's God's vision.
It's God's vision.
And
it may take, I don't know, 5 years for the outside world to catch up. But you have to still hold on to already know. I already know. Like right now, we haven't gotten the announcement for season 2. But I already know. I already know. They can keep stalling, delaying, whatever they're meeting about. I already know what I was told. And I believe that.
Yes. So talk to me about that process of how did you come about with this project?
So the idea was birthed 2017, 2018. My girlfriend, London Breed, became the first Black female mayor of San Francisco, which was a huge deal. Huge. You know, San Francisco is one of the richest cities in our nation. Mm-hmm. It's a tech city, it's very white, it's very Asian. And knowing London, she also came up in the hood. She's a hood girl like me. And just knowing her journey of where she grew up, how she grew up, and watching her just kind of climb that ladder in our city, this young girl from the hood, and then she becomes the mayor of our city. There was so much pushback. There was so much, they made up an emergency election, like all kind of things happened. And I'm watching her from the, sidelines and cheering her on, sending her messages. But just watching it, she just kept smiling through it all and kept going and da-da-da-da. So I was like, damn, that's a good-ass character. Somebody from the hood. And now she has to balance, like she still has her family, that is her family. And she also has to operate in this space that is this political world that is very Caucasian and very, uptight and uppity. And so watching this girl from the hood have to balance, like, okay, well, let me make sure my mama, my grandma doing this. Okay, let me check on my brother. He going to prison. Okay, let me, balancing the two sides. I just thought that is an amazing character. So that's where the character was birthed and the inspiration came from. So I came up with that idea and I was like, okay. So I wrote it all out and I started telling my reps, I need to find a writer. I need to team up with the right writer for this. So I met with several writers and landed upon Naya Palmer, who became my co-creator on the show. And we started developing this show idea, right? And it went through different renditions. We started off with the mayor in the city in San Francisco. And I was like, well, I live in Atlanta now. I was like, we can make it Atlanta, but it can't be mayor because Black mayors in Atlanta that's what we do here. Yeah. So let's make it a governor. That's huge. So we changed the story, made it governor. And then we both got busy. Like I was very busy acting, directing. She was on Girls Rule the World over there working with Yvette Lee Bowser as a writer. And so we kind of just put the project down for years. And then the strike happened in 23. And all our jobs went away. I had jobs lined up through 24, I had jobs lined up and they all went away. So I called Naya. I was like, Naya, I know we're on a strike. I know you writers are pens down. I was like, but what if we could shoot a proof of concept of our show so that when the strike is over, we have something to show instead of like pitching the idea? And she was like, let's do it. So she agreed, and I was like, okay, I'll get the team together to shoot it. I'll get the actors, I'll do the thing. So I went to work, and I was like, okay, this is a political show. Politics is not my ministry at all. So I need somebody on our team who can speak to that language. I'm in Atlanta. I'm like, who's the best person I could think of that I feel like I can reach out to? Keisha Lance Bottoms. So that dropped in my spirit.
Atlanta had a mayor named Keisha. A lot of people didn't. Certain people wanted Keisha out, and I know they wish they never did. Keisha got a lot of pushback for things that she was trying to fix. I didn't like that. Shout out to Keisha Lance Bottoms, for real.
And it took me a minute to call her though. Cause I was like, what is she? She ain't gonna take my call. She ain't gonna meet with me. She's in politics. I'm an actress. Like, she's gonna be like, what you want? So I'm trying to talk myself out of the thing, and I'm like, nope. God said yes. God, again, believing. Just be obedient. Go. Just call. So I finally called. And she was like, sure, I'll meet with you. I was just like, I have this idea. I would love to share with you. Can we meet? And she was like, yeah, sure. So we met for breakfast, and I had it all laid out. I had it on my laptop. I brought my laptop, and I showed her my pitch deck. And I was like, I would like to shoot a proof of concept of this idea. I showed her the idea, and I would love for you to join me as a consulting producer because this is your world. And I think it's important just for the validity of the show to have somebody like you attached. And she was like, I love it. She was like, I love this idea. I was like, does that mean you're gonna join me? And she was like, absolutely, Terry, yes, I'll join you. So I was like, yes. And in our meeting, she said, so, do you have the finances to shoot your proof of concept? And she threw me with that question because I was still trying to get the funding, right? But I'm thinking if I get Keisha, somebody will give me that money, right? So, and I didn't, when she asked me, I was like, don't sound desperate. Don't sound desperate. Don't sound that. My voice on the inside. So I was like, let me get back to you. I was like, I think I may already have something. I didn't have shit. I was like, I think I may already have something, but I'll let you know if we need that. So I let a couple of days go by. Nothing that I was trying to do was happening. So I called her back and I was like, hey, do you still have that investor that would be invited? She was like, yeah, absolutely. So she introduced me to the man who financed our proof of concept.
How much was that?
Like $87,000. And everything was just so divine. It was so divine, and God is amazing. Because when I met with him, he's an old school man. He's an attorney. And he was like, look, I don't know nothing about y'all business. He's like, but what I do know about is pouring into Black people's dreams. And you, as somebody who have been in this business, you have the track record. You shouldn't have to go outside your community to fund this. So I'm going to do it for you, and I want you to remember it and continue to pay it forward. This is why I love Atlanta. So he did that, and we shot it. I got the actors. I knew specifically who I wanted, and they all said yes. And we shot this proof of concept in 2 days. My buddy, Errol Sadler, he helped produce it with me. So it's like a community here in Atlanta. It's really the reason how Miss Governor got on Netflix. And a lot of them, most of them, didn't come along for once you sell the show, you don't really have the power to bring the whole team with you. I couldn't.
Talk to me about that. So when you, you shot the proof of concept.
And it was excellent.
It was excellent.
Great.
You got the actor. They all say yes to it. You got the $87,000 you needed. What happens after this package? Do you and the agent go to start pitching it?
So after so we worked on getting it edited and everything, and then once the strike was over, I had what I wanted, and I told my agents, book the meetings for us to pitch. So he sent the proof of concept out, and we got meetings lined up back to back to back. So I'm prepping me, Naya, and Keisha, because now we have to pitch our show. So through my 20 years of pitching, I'm like, this is what we need to do. You do this part, I'll do this part, you do this part, and then we're gonna do that, and we laugh here, and like staging the whole thing, right?
That's how it works, just so y'all know. That's exactly, it's a pre-pitch before the pitch.
Yes. So we rehearsed our pitch, we did all that stuff. So we go into our first meeting. So we got like 5 meetings lined up. And so we go into our first meeting. And they're all lists of people that I admire, producers I admire, all the things. And we get ready for our pitch. And they start pitching us. I was looking at them like, okay, we haven't said anything yet. And they're like telling us all the things they love about the show and why they think they should be the ones to produce it for us.
It's not a bidding war.
So what I wrote in my journal before this, so I had said I wanted to be on Netflix.
You said you have your own
said
show?
I wanted multiple offers so I could choose who to go with.
You wrote that?
Yeah, I wrote that in my journal. And when I say we had multiple offers, like every meeting was an offer. Every single meeting was an offer. Never happened to me in 20 years of pitching. Every meeting was an offer. I was like, God, see, this is what happens when you push your belief further. Because there were so many stops and challenges along that. So I'm just giving you the quick story, but there were several things that happened that looked like, oh my God, it's not gonna happen. Oh my God, we can't get, oh my God. And still, it was like, nope, keep going. Keep going. We'll call this person. Call Keisha. Call them. And I'm just like trusting what's going on the inside, because there were some no's. I won't say anything about the no's. People that want to be a part of the proof of concept. And I was like, dang. It was like, nope, don't worry. That's not the person. What was it that you said?
God's rejection.
Rejection
is something God's protection.
Yes. So he totally protected me with those no's. And then this is what happened. It's like we got offered. Every meeting was an offer. Like literally, they wanted to keep setting up meetings, and I was like, stop. No more. I literally told my agent, no more meetings. Like these are people that I already admire so much. I don't want to add somebody else, because now I'm a Libra. Now I'm getting stressed because now I got to make a choice.
Because we're indecisive.
Oh my God.
And we overthink.
Oh my God. It was the most stressful thing ever, trying to decide who to go with. How crazy is that? Stressed out, Carlos. Stressed out. And yeah, and that's how that went. And we chose Tyler because their offer, Netflix, they were the only one with, if we say yes to them right now, we're going to have 16 episodes on Netflix. If we went with anybody else, it would still been more of a process.
Yeah.
And I was like, I've been in this game too long.
You know it.
I'm not about to delay any process. I'm going to take, let's go. Let's go. Let me get this on. And then we'll figure out what's next.
Talk to me about how Tyler Perry has changed your life in terms of you being in this business for 20 years and you've seen things and the ups and the downs. And then for this black man who has his own studio, who has these, and it's funny because he just announced, hi, Mr. Perry. Went for my call. No, He just announced a new movie today on Amazon Prime, and the comments said, "We just watched Ruth and Boaz on Friday with Devon," and I'm like, "That's on Netflix. You got this on Amazon." I'm like, "Mr. Perry."
He does not stop.
Talk to me just about what have you learned by working.
He don't stop. A lot of people like, I wish he'd do something to that. Tyler Perry has a formula to try things to see if they work, to see if they stick, and then he will move. If it don't, he'll change the formula. That's just him. When I did, I would say around 17, 18, the half and half nights, when Veronica went to jail scene and everybody was waiting for her to be released out. He was supposed to be there. He wasn't there. And I met all the cast instead of like 2 or 3 people, very nice, wonderful people. They work hard. He wasn't there. He was doing a play. But he does do a great job. He does not stop. He just don't stop, and that's just him. I'm gonna fast forward a little bit because I do want to come back with mommy content around like 3:30 and want to talk about something, but it's gonna be short. But let me see. I think we're almost done.
With
Dream bigger. That's what he always says.
Yep.
Your dream isn't big enough. Dream bigger. Whatever your dream is, it ain't big enough. There's more. Dream bigger. So I don't have any limits anymore. I don't have any limits on the dreams that I have. Like, dude, no limits. And I 1000% believe in those dreams. So they're going to happen. They're happening. I'm living, I'm breathing. Those dreams are happening right now as we sit here and I'm talking to you. It's like a seed in the ground right now. It's just the sprouts are sprouting on that seed. Pretty soon the tree is going to come up and then you're going to see, and you're going to get to see it because I already know it's in the ground.
I mean, I'm so happy for you with this series, and it's the fact that, what I love about what Netflix does on their home screen is the ability to see the top movies, the top series, and all that stuff. And it just made me so proud to see your face. Like, sis, your face.
I know, it's crazy.
Was on Netflix screen featured in the top 10 shows. And it wasn't there just for one day. No. Do you know what I'm saying? So, like, when you saw that, because you're a crybaby like me.
I know.
Did you cry, child?
Yeah.
Your face.
I've been crying for about a year now, dude. Non-stop crying for a whole year. And I don't know when it's going to stop.
I don't want it to stop.
But I did.
These are happy tears.
Yes, they are happy tears. They really, really are happy tears. I'm so thankful. I am thankful for Tyler's yes. And yes, that changed my life because I got a show on Netflix that I created that came out of my mind based on another Black woman's experience. That inspiration came from her. Another Black sister inspired me to create something that speaks to us, that can bring you joy while showing you the complexity of being a Black woman in leadership.
Mm-hmm.
And it made top 10 on Netflix. And it's all my face. I saw my face on Times Square. All those things. I never dreamt this. Very thankful.
What's next for you, though?
What's next is, so I launched TJV Enterprises.
I love all this shit.
Inspired, so I love funny girls. So Mary Tyler Moore is like one of my inspirations.
Oh, really?
She is
you and Oprah's.
Really?
Oh my God! The way you cry now. That's how
Tyler
Oprah feels about Mary Tyler Moore.
Okay, so she, so I watched her documentary. You have to watch her documentary.
What's it about?
Being Mary Tyler Moore, I believe it's called. It's on either Netflix or
Okay.
Hulu or somewhere. You'll find
I
it.
love all this stuff. Okay.
It's so good. And watching her documentary just really inspired me more to just really focus on things that bring me joy. I want to put joy out. So she got her first, so of course she was on Dick Van Dyke, but when she got the Mary Tyler Moore show, that's when she launched her MTM Enterprises and spun off a bunch of other comedy shows. Like she had Rhoda and some other shows.
I didn't know this.
Yes. So I was like, clock it. That's what I'm doing. So TJV Enterprises, and we're going to spin off some other comedy shows. So I recently directed and did another proof of concept with Big Daddy Kane. So we are actively pitching that show. And I have some other shows and films that we are developing for TJV Enterprises that I'm super excited about. And they're all, for us, by us, to us.
Get that going. My last question.
Yes, sir.
Would you ever consider doing, if it was offered, a reboot of the Steve Harvey Show?
Absolutely. Hell yes. Yes, 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 yes. I love those guys.
It's on Netflix.
I know, it's on Netflix now.
The young kids are living for it.
I know, we should do a reboot.
It's on TikTok.
I remember one time when all those shows were getting all the reboots, and I was like, Steve, what's up? Are we gonna I hear they want to do a reboot. Are we doing a reboot? And it's some legal stuff. There's so many ownerships in that show.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh Lord, I don't know nothing about all that. So we'll see.
We'll see. But no, listen, I am so proud of you. I'm proud of you as a Black person. I'm proud of you as an actor. I'm proud of you as a director. I'm proud of you as a woman, a mom, a wife, a person who has decided to be of service.
Yes.
Because one thing that people don't understand the word of God is we're all here on this earth to be of service. And the way you are of service is what Mr. Perry said to you about, like, yes, I'm going to open this door, pay it forward. Like, the world needs to understand that it is our job to pay it forward. And that's how the universe continues to bless us, because once you bless somebody with that opportunity, God blesses you with an abundance of more.
So you can keep.
Yes, it's currency, and you just keep that going, and that's why what you're doing should never be dismissed as like, oh, that's just another actor who wants to be a producer. It's like, no, what Terri J. Vaughn is doing is showing you guys how she was destined for this. The fact that you thought, I'm gonna just do this little pageant.
Yeah, right?
And I'm just gonna do all this.
Right.
Get my check and go home. And not knowing that God has something better for you, and that was this opportunity to be an actor. I think, listen, not to tell you what to do, but...
Tell me what to do, Carla.
No, not tell me what to do. But I will say, if there's ever a moment where there's a question mark, if I were you, I will always go back to that 20-year-old girl. Who just decided to just show up.
Yeah.
Like, really sit with that. All you did, you just showed up. And the universe welcomed you and said, I'm going to take you here. And what I hope the raindrops, the audience, really understand from this conversation we just had is, if you only show up, and you believe outside of your belief, anything is possible.
Anything is possible.
So thank you for this.
Thank you so much.
Oh my God, I love you!
All right, that is it. That was a great interview. It was beautiful. I took a lot from it. I let the whole thing play because she really said some things that needed to be said and to be heard. Please go check out her Netflix show, The Governor. It is on Netflix. Such a great show. Shout out to all the people on there. Y'all gonna see some familiar faces from Facebook on there, y'all. Y'all shout out to them and people that's been in the game for a while. And yes, Kyle, the one that plays Kyle from Living Single, is on that show. Please go watch it. He is very entertaining. I want to thank y'all for watching. I will be back at 3:30. We're gonna watch Queen Blah Mom about Liv. It's just gonna be a short live, but she has something to say. We're gonna talk about Robin crying on her birthday when she wanted ice cream and cake. Oh, we're gonna talk about it. I'm gonna see y'all at 3:30. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. See you in the next one. Bye.
It's in the reach of my arms, the span of my hips, the stride of my step, the curl of my lips. I'm a woman, phenomenally.
Birds singing in the dead of night.